Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Sippin with Shawn. We're here at the Cavern. It's been rebranded the Cavern now, since we don't want to have too much overlap with Cav's Tab and other similarly branded bars, basement bars, that is. Anyway, inside joke. But so I have some fun stuff to talk about today. I don't know if it's all fun, but to me it's kind of fun. We're going to go through kind of like home bar essentials. That's going to be like the first portion of like the show we're doing here. Another thing is like I saw the movie The Menu and I have thoughts on that one. I wanted to kind of like share some of that with you guys. And finally, when we're going to switch over to Rumble only, Rumble exclusive, and we're going to talk about the latest spin to the whole Hunter Biden laptop story. But before we get into all of that stuff, let me get some of this stuff here going here. So the ticker's down here at the bottom for the tip jar me money now, please. Buymeacoffee.com/imshawncav. Venmo is at imshawncav, and Cash App is $ I'm Shawn Cav. So real easy to find me online. It's I'm Shawn Cav because I am. I'm Shawn Cav. But if you want to send me an email, you want to send me any kind of like stories, articles, ask questions, blah, 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 any of that type of shit. It's sippinwithshawn@protonmail.com. You can send anything you want over there in reason. I know I say anything you want, and then I totally regret saying anything you want. But That's the email address. So go right ahead. You can spam away. And then my solo.to / I'm Shawn Cav for all my socials and links, everything to keep up to date with what's going on with Shawn, blah, blah, blah. Follow me on the Twitter and Telegram, of course, goes to my main two ones. And then, of course, solo.to / tildeathstudios for all your graphic arts needs, because you can see, like, I have a new thing up top here. Ian redid it, so that way it doesn't interfere with my little ticker thing to the bottom. I can just let the ticker go right along and not have to stop it at any point, which is kind of nice. I like that. So yeah, you can go over there for all your graphic arts needs. And then, of course, we're on the Till Death Podcast Network. I have to do the self-promotion for that stuff. So the solo.to / tildeathpodnetwork, you can go and get all your latest updates for when it comes to Sippin with Shawn, The Whiskey Capitalist, Till Death Podcast, and, of course, Movies America. So, like, there's so many things we got going on the channels. And, like, we're still putting stuff out on YouTube, Rumble, Twitters, and all the Twitter accounts and stuff like that. But if you want to get, like, overall general, like, updates as to what's going on, Till Death Pod Network is the one where you're going to get, like, updates on all of the shows. So with that, it's Friday. I'm glad that we finally reached Friday, because, like, like, it's just like, I talked about this a little bit last week, where, like, my job kind of threw me into this, like, new, like, higher management role type deal. And, like, I was like, it was like starting to, like, weigh on me how much I had to adjust to, like, what I was doing. But, like, this week this is the first week I actually felt good about what I was doing. I was like, hey, you know what? Feel confident, feel cool, calm, collected, the whole bit. Like, I got this, I can do it. And now I deserve a drink. So and I'm not, this is, even though it's in, like, a shooter, like, shot glass, I'm sipping this stuff. This is good, which is going to lead me right into my first topic, which is going to be home bar essentials. And, like, I'm not only talking about, like, the equipment necessarily you're gonna need, but, like, there's certain boozes that I think just kind of, like, fit, like, a perfect genre. Like, I don't know, like, maybe, like, they hit, like, this huge umbrella of people. So you don't have to go out and spend, like, a ton of money getting every little type of whiskey, every little type of, like, tequila or vodka or this or that. Because honestly, most people are pretty okay with some really basic stuff. But, like, you just dress it up good. You just dress it up like something, and it's like, hey, this is awesome. So, just for an example, this is a little pricey, but this is mezcal. I'm drinking today, at least, Monte Lobos mezcal. And the difference between, like, mezcal and tequila essentially is that mezcal is just pure agave. So it's just from it's the juice or whatever from the agave plant, and then it's, like, fermented. Essentially, the same idea as, like, moonshine is done, like, in the back during Prohibition and stuff like that. So it was kind of like Mexico's version of, like, moonshine or something like that. And I mean, like, it's a little bit of a stronger, boozier flavor than you would get from something like just like a really good tequila. Like, if you got, like, a Don Julio, like, 70, or like, even, like, a really nice, like, 1800 or something like that. But this stuff still goes on really smooth. I like it a lot. So, like, if I could recommend something for you guys, let's start with Mexico, because I think there's some, like, good options here. Now, I don't have all of my different boozes here, like, for like, just to be able to, like, go over with you, but I do have a couple down here at the bar right now. Obviously, I just showed you Monte Lobo, so you got your mezcal. Then for, like, a really basic but delicious tequila, Terramana. Terramana is, like, this stuff right here. This stuff is fantastic. You can mix it, or you could even just take it straight, because it's a smooth, good tequila for what it is. I mean, like, we also have 1800, but the 1800, like, mostly, and that's, like, your typical, like, blue labeled, like, bottle. There's nothing fancy about that, but, like, that's, like, for margaritas and whatnot. So, of course, you got to have your margarita mix. Now, I have a mini fridge. It's not, like, behind the bar right now, just because of, like, how everything's set up. I did have it back here at one point, but, like, it just became too cluttered. So, like, I moved it actually into the other room, so it's much easier just kind of, like, go and grab, like, a beer or something like that if I want something out of the fridge. But keep, like, a few things chilled in there. So, like, I do keep what was I was just saying, lost it. Anyway, I do keep some things chilled in there, but completely fucking like my brain's like completely fried. Hey, I'm just gonna say hi to a couple of the comments here on Rumble. So we got like one from Will, good to see you, and then of course Movies America. It's Bar Rescue. Now, I'm just going over a few of the different things that I typically keep in here, but like for the margarita mix, that's what I was saying before. The margarita mix, you got to keep that chilled. That's why we're talking about Mexico and all that type of stuff, but. I mean, like, I just recently got into like tequilas and like mezcals and so from like my last trip to Mexico because last time I went down there, we did like a whole tasting and like they exposed you to like all the different type of stuff. And honestly, like my favorite was the stuff that I showed on like when I first came back from Mexico on the Whiskey Capitalist. With me and Ian were talking about it. I showed him like the big like ceramic decanter that I got and it had a big bell on the top of it. I've had like two of those bottles now and like they're just decorations around the house now because they're just so freaking fancy looking and they're all handmade, which is cool. And that is Clase Azul, but that's a really expensive like tequila. So like I don't know if you're feeling like you want to spend a lot of money just to have like some really good booze. I mean, go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it because if you want to like treat yourself, go right for it. But this episode is mostly about me just kind of sharing some basic things that I think you can save a little bit of money here and there and keep everybody happy with some spirits. So let's move away from that. Let's get into like some of our whiskeys and things like that. So I have Jameson upstairs, but like I don't know, like I love Jameson. I'm Irish, obviously, so therefore, like like that's always been like a go-to for me. But let me tell you, since I've gotten this stuff, I've not turned back. Proper 12. It's actually a Conor McGregor's like signature like whiskey. It's cheaper and honestly, it's smoother. I think it tastes better than Jameson. I mean, I'm sure there's like Irishmen out there that are a bunch of mixers are gonna like blasphemy. You can't say that, but no, to me, honestly, this stuff is fantastic, and I highly recommend it for like a cheap bottle of whiskey. Really, really good stuff. I just bring that to like a party here in this past week, and like a bunch of people were really enjoying it. So now, yeah, Jameson, of course, like that's a nice, easy one to keep behind the bar for you. And again, we're talking about like home bar. I'm not talking about like stocking any kind of like ridiculous thing. But for me, I am a huge fan of makers. I have a few of these down here just in case like one run runs out. I have the next one ready to go. So we got our maker's mark down here. And that's what's inside let me turn this guy a little bit. That's what's inside the decanter right here as well. Some maker's mark. Let's see what else we got. I do have this, which I have not used yet, but I'm really excited to start using it yet. It's a smoker, and I don't have the only thing I'm missing right now is the butane, where it's actually like you can smoke the like different types of woods. Like here's like the smoking fuel. It's like little wood chips and shit like that. And like you would put it into like or under the glass or something, and you would smoke it, and then you would actually smoke your glasses before you would pour into your drink, and it gives your bourbon a little bit more of a smokier flavor. I don't. It's just been one of those things where it's like I've had it before with like Rusty Nails and whatnot, those types of mixed drinks, but I've never done it at home and never done it myself. So I'm kind of curious. I'm curious to get started with this thing. It was a Christmas gift, and it's just been sitting here. I'm like, yeah, I want to do it, but maybe I'm nervous. I'm going to burn my house down. I spent too much money on this freaking house to like really lose it over a drink. So yeah, okay, moving on. I got some other stuff down here too that more oddball things. Okay, obviously, when it comes to like gin, Tanqueray. Don't fuck around with like getting like Beefeater or any other type of shit. It's like just get the bottle of fucking Tanqueray. Do we have comments? Didn't even notice it before. Smoking wood. Yeah. I know that's a good joke. Oh, okay. What else we got? Oh, yeah. So I was just saying, Tanqueray, obviously for gin. Don't go too cheap with gin because that's where you get like for me at least, I'll get really bad hangovers if you get really cheap like bullshit fucking like gin. Now vodka. Vodka, you can go cheap with vodka because it doesn't really have too much of a flavor, but people tend to like cheap vodka for whatever reason. Like good vodka I don't know. To me, it tastes no different. Sometimes they infuse shit in there, and like that's supposed to make it so much better. To me, it doesn't really make much of a difference. It's all about the same. So I just buy a big old jug of Tito's, and this stuff's great. Honestly, all you got to do is take. I take like a Tervis cup, like one of the big ones, fill it halfway up with ice, fill that with fill up to the ice level, which is about halfway, with Tito's, and then it fits a perfect pour for like a can of LaCroix or whatever kind of seltzers you're into and stuff like that. And it's just like a low calorie beverage for the end of the night. And like during the week, that's perfect for me because I don't want to always sit around with a bourbon because I mean like a bourbon's probably around like 250 calories in like a glass. So it's like I could probably like you know balance that out with some like small lower stuff. Uh, Termos bottle? Termos? Okay, I guess so. But like, no, I said Tervis. Tervis cup. Tervis. Tervis. That's the way you'd spell that. And when you look those up, they're actually kind of expensive cups. But I have like now, I think I have like four of them, and like they're great for like just making like big rum and cokes. I was about to get to that. Obviously, like people tend to like debate what type of rum to get for this. Just get Captain, but save yourself some money. I thought you forgot the H. You thought I was saying like Hervis? Okay, whatever. Anyway, as I was saying, with rum, you get me so fucking distracted. Okay. When it comes to the rum, just go with Captain because everyone likes Captain, but you don't need to get the spiced rum. You can get the white rum and save yourself $15. And when you make a rum and coke, it literally will taste the same. There's like there's the slightest little difference in like the sweetness that goes behind like the brown rum versus like the brown spiced rum versus the white rum, but you're not going to notice it if you're mixing your drink anyway. Don't even waste your time. Save yourself the money. $20 will get you a jug the size of that Tito's like bottle, and that stuff is perfect. No, it's not a thermos. It's not thermos. Tervis. Whatever. You're fucking with me. Okay, here's some other little things. Now, out in the fridge, I also keep it makes it sound like fucking alcoholics with the amount of shit that I keep around the house. But like we enjoy our spirits here, that's for sure. I have like Cafe Patron. I also have I can't wait until you start flipping bottles behind your back with some sizzle reel. Like I have no flair for that type of shit, unfortunately. But uh it makes it sound like alcoholics, but I keep like Cafe Patron in there. I also have another knockoff brand, which is like Negros Cafe, I think it's called, and that one tastes exactly like Cafe Patron, but half the price. We got the Cafe Patron as a gift, and it was just because we couldn't find it anywhere. But like when we were out shopping for it, the guy was like, "Oh, well, here, get this stuff instead. It's a liqueur and it tastes the exact same." Oh, well, shit. Then fuck it, I'm gonna do that. Speaking of liqueurs, well, I don't know if this is in the whiskey section, but to me, it tastes like a liqueur. To be perfectly frank, because of how sweet and smooth it is. The Evan Williams honey, it might as well be a liqueur. It's that like dessert flavored. It's delicious. Don't get me wrong. There's times I'll just have like a glass of this, and I'm like, yeah, this is great stuff, whatever. But like, it definitely has more of a liqueur kind of a vibe to it. He doesn't recommend. It doesn't have the recommended amount of flair. Yeah, nice reference there. Now this one, it's almost empty here right now, but this is liqueur 43. Now the only reason why I even have this, because like this isn't like my type of thing. This is very much like just like a straight like liqueur, but my wife really likes to make what's called little beers. And if you know what a little beer is, it's a shot glass where you typically want to have a clear one, because when you have it clear, you can see see right what's in the shot glass. You fill it about 3/4 of the way with this, with the liqueur 43, and then you top it off with the last quarter of Bailey's, but you use like a spoon to kind of like just let it float on top, and it makes it look like a little beer because it's the same color as like a beer. and then the Bailey's on top creates like the almost like that foam kind of look to it, and it tastes like butterscotch. Like it's a delicious like little shot or whatever like that. And like that's something that she likes a lot. So like she's like, oh, make me a little beer when like it's a bunch of her and her girlfriends hanging out or something like that. I'm like, okay, sure, why not? So like it was one of those like little gifts. I know I see Ian typing away in the background here. He's got some kind of a comment I'm sure he's going to be throwing at me about like, hey, little beers. How about little dicks? I'm waiting for the little dick reference to start popping up here any second. Okay. Moving on. Other liqueurs. I think I got another one down here, which is really cool. Which I'm not seeing right. Oh, wait, is that it? No. Where'd he go? There he is. Ah, found it. This one, not many people know about, but it's delicious. And if you ever get a chance, you gotta pick one of these up. It's Italian artichoke liqueur, Sinar. This stuff, like I had no idea what the hell this shit was before. This is so good. And I was like, really? Artichoke liqueur? But like it's just made from artichokes. And it's like the lightest uh slight hint of sweetness that goes along with like this kind of like almost like a Jägermeister, like licorice kind of like a flavor, but like it's so mild and smooth. It's like delicious, and I don't know. I really like it a lot, and it's supposed to actually be good for gut health too. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, you have one of these, and it'll help break down what's going on in your stomach if you have a lot of red meat type deal. So like that's to me, this is a really cool, unique bottle to have back here. So someone's like, oh, no, let me try something different. Oh, I got something for you. Um, Paper towels. You have to have paper towels if you're going to have a home bar. Is it old Greg reference pending? Okay. Have you ever drank Bailey's out of a shoe? That sounds extremely disgusting. I don't think no, I have not. And I don't think I would. Like, it's just out of a shoe. So it could have been a new shoe, not like a used shoe or an old shoe or something like that. If it was like a brand new shoe, I'd probably do it after like I was already pretty lit up. I'm like, yeah, let's go. This is gonna be fun. But yeah, I think. Oh, and other little things to kind of have around the bar, which I think are really good. Please tell me you know what Old Greg is. No, I don't know what Old Greg is. So that makes your joke useless right now. I guess. No, whatever. Um, Two books I keep up here just in case somebody asks for something ridiculous. I have World Bartender Guide. It's literally like thousands and thousands of different drink recipes in here. I just kind of open up and it's like, oh, a Jersey mug. It's like 2.5 ounces apple brandy, a few dashes of a nosh of I don't know, some kind of bitters, a few whole cloves, a lemon peel combined with the bottling water, and add a dash of brandy ball, ignite and serve. Oh, ignite and serve. So there's fire involved in that one. Neat. So that's kind of a cool little thing to kind of have up there. Someone's like asking for something. Like, I'm not sure what goes in that. I'll look it up. The other one, which is actually a little bit of a hand-me-down, was a book of Irish toasts. And I keep it marked to the birthday one because a lot of times people are, they want to do toast for like birthdays and stuff like that. And this is the one that I have marked that I usually just pull this one out if someone's ready for it. It's like, may you live to be 100 years old and one extra year to repent. So that's a nice little, like, ha ha ha, ha, it's funny, gotcha. Type deal. Besides that, I keep some glasses, like a shaker with an ice pour. I got a little tiny margarita shaker. And then, of course, shot glasses and tons of rocks glasses as well back here. Now, the one thing I don't have, which I plan on getting, is an ice maker for behind the bar here, where you can actually just like fill it up with water. It'll produce the ice. It'll keep it cold. And then, when you're done using it, you unplug it and you just drain the whole thing out. It's pretty simple. I think they're like $100 or something like that. Probably going to end up picking one of those up at some point because I think it'll be a good investment versus like having to bring like a bucket of ice under. Because unfortunately, my bar is a dry bar because I did not plan to run water lines over across my basement to like, put a sink in or anything like that. So that's kind of the lame part it's lame to like have like I guess like just dry bar, but it works for what I got going on for the most part because if I'm just pouring shots or everyone's gonna have beers or this and that, like pretty easy. If I'm only entertaining like 4 to 6 people, yeah, it's not that big of a deal to just have a dry bar. Well, we got some more stuff here. Here's to you, here's to me, best friends we'll ever be, and we shall ever disagree. To hell with you, and here's to me. That's a good one. One of my favorites is, and I usually do this when at bars and whatnot with just my buddies, like to beer, women, and song. May they never be flat. And that's usually one of the like, oh, good chocolate, yeah. Well, no, none of them should ever be flat. Mm. Okay, let's pour another drink and let's switch gears here, because then we're gonna get into talking about that fucking movie I watched, The Menu, and then we'll switch over to Rumble only, and I'll talk about the Hunter Biden thing because I know YouTube's just like aching to give us another strike for something that I'll probably say or somebody will say, whatever the fuck it is. So I don't know. Either way, this is just like the smarter option for the channel and for the network. Okay, so let's share my window or something like that. Okay, here we go. All right, The Menu. So if you don't know about this movie, there is some things that we should be talking about when it comes to this. Now, when I first saw this pop up on like because I got Apple TV at home, so I'm like scrolling through, and this one just popped up. It was like a new movie. I think it was like on HBO Max or something like that. And like, I'm just gonna warn you right now, everybody. I am terrible at doing movie reviews because what I do is I typically I tell you what the fuck happens in the movie. So yeah, I'm gonna warn you right now. There's going to be spoilers in this. So if you are really desperate to watch this movie, which I pity you if you fucking are, but if you really want to, don't tell me, I want to keep it a secret, then don't watch this portion, I guess. I mean, I'm kind of turning away viewers, but like that's just the way it's going to be because I'm about to dive right in. Now, the two people right up here in the front here, these are like kind of like the main characters, and let me see here. These two are like the main characters of this movie, and there's a bunch of couples. It's like they're all going to this fancy island. Yeah, spoiler warning, it's there. Ian announced it for everybody. There's a bunch of rich people. They're all going because like this dude up here, I only ever remember this dude from like basically being in Red Dragon. Like to me, he's like the Red Dragon guy, but like he's like this like fancy. It's like almost like if Emerald Lagasse or I, I don't know. I guess Gordon Ramsay. Like I mean, he's got restaurants all over the place. But like if Gordon Ramsay was so elite to where he had a special island where only rich people could go. And is this going to be bigger? No, that makes me smaller. Let's do it this way, where only the richest people could go and afford to eat there, or something like that. So I don't know. There's a whole. Voldemort too. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I completely forgot about that. Damn, work interrupted my viewing pleasure here. All right. Well, so like all these people, they get on a boat and they go to this island and they're greeted by like I guess like a sous chef or like a major assistant or something like that, and they start going right on through. And the thing is, like when I watched this thing come up on like the trailer, it was a horror movie. They made it out to be a horror movie, and I'm watching. I'm like, when does it start getting scary or anything like that? And like because the scariest thing or the most like intimidating thing that was coming up in this entire uh, sequence of maybe the first half hour or so of the movie was like basically everything that the assistant said or the chef said or anybody that was working on the island, and also all the chefs and all of them, they all live on that island. Like they worship this guy's cooking and stuff like that. They were all very condescending and said really rude shit the to the guests. But the guests, I guess, like they're just so used to everyone like hating them or whatever because they're like filthy rich and they're all like stars to some degree. Like then that's kind of like where they just didn't care. And like the one girl up in the front, where like she's the other main character, she was not on the original guest list. She was like a +1 for this other dude because I guess his first date backed out, and then he brought this other girl, and like so she's like, oh, aren't you guys offended? They're being rude to you or anything like that, and like nobody seemed to notice or care. It wasn't until like shit started to like really get intense that like I was like, okay, now it kind of feels a little horror-esque. I'm not trying to give away all the shit that happens in the movie, but like let me just tell you, like, if you plan on seeing this thing, you cannot go into this thinking that it's going to be a horror movie. It's not. Like, they tried to be like almost like comedy. I want to say they went for like this really dry comedy element to like this horror approach. It was so weird. It was uncomfortable, to be perfectly honest, watching this shit. I'm like, was I had more flair. I'd order. What is it saying? If I had more flair, I'd order some extreme fajitas, pizza shooters, or Prince pizza, shrimp poppers. There you go. More Office Space jokes. Mm. But yeah, anyway, when it comes down to this movie, uh, there was scenes in this where I'm like, there was like maybe 2 fight scenes in the entire movie. The rest of it is all just like very condescending towards like these guests who paid a lot of money to be there, and like they're saying like, you're all gonna die here, like spoiler alert, like you're all gonna die here, and like there's no escaping. And even like the staff was going to like, I guess like essentially like kamikaze themselves. They're all gonna like, everyone's gonna die here tonight. But like when they went through each of the people and why they deserve to die, I was like, this has got to be a fucking joke, because like even like the one girl was like, wait, I'm not rich. And they're like, what school did you go to? And she said like, I don't know, like, I went to Brown. Okay, do you have student debt? And they're, no. Well, you deserve to die. So it's like, it's got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke, the fact that like like, oh, she doesn't have debt, therefore she must be rich, and then therefore she deserves to die. There's a lot of these elements that went along with this. Oh, the s'mores after watching the movie. Oh my god, yeah. Like so, like movies just brought this part up, and this is like the coup de grace, like the big finale, like kill scene of like the movie, because they went through, there's like 5 or 6 courses, and each one of them got a little bit more fucked up as it went along, and like the last one was like basically turning all the guests into s'mores almost. Now I don't want to give away like the big like twist kind of ending that I don't even know if it's really of a twist or like a bullshit fucking resolution, but um, that was very disappointing. Whatever you want to consider it, to me, like it was pretty fucking terrible. If I had to rate this movie, I can't give it. I can't be honest with myself and give this thing any more of like, if I'm like a 1 to 10. Entertainment factor aside, like so, or maybe like I went into it thinking it was going to be a horror movie, but like there were some elements of entertainment that went along, but I stuck with it because I needed to see the end of it at this point. I gotta go with like a 4 out of 10. Like this was not good, but I stuck through it just because it's like I needed to see what was going to happen. I've already invested so much time thinking that there was going to be more horror things that happened in this thing, but unfortunately nothing of the sort happened. I was like, oh my god, this is such shit. So yeah, 4 out of 10 for the menu for sure. Um, if you want to check it out, just to kind of like torture yourself and like see what the hype is about, I don't know. Like I'm sure movies probably has like an actual review that goes along with the thing. Will actually give you like a better idea as to what's going on. But man, I was just so disappointed watching this thing. And I was just like, it's one of those things where I'm committed. I got to see it all the way through now. I can't just like turn it off after I've already watched like 3/4 of it. I'm like, nope, we're going to finish this thing. We're going to get through it together, and then we're going to bitch about it online. So with that, let's remove this right here. And I think it's about time we switch over to go to Rumble only, Rumble exclusive. So for you guys watching on YouTube right now, movies like Ian, I think that might be it for people commenting, and then anybody else who's viewing, thank you for viewing on YouTube. But like we're gonna switch over to Here he goes. I knew he did. So I do have the menu review. So awesome. See, you can go to the movies and you can actually go and see like a well done movie review versus my half-assed I didn't like it review. So I mean, again, they were trying to go for comedy, but like I don't know, they went for comedy, but they sold it as horror, which I did not like or understand. It's like going in to see one movie. Like if I went to go and see like I don't know the new Predator movie, and then I ended up sitting down watching Legally Blonde 4 or something like that. I'm like, what am I watching? This is not what I signed up for. This is weird. And then I walk out of the theater all confused. And I don't know like how I should express my feelings. But anyway, we're gonna go to Rumble exclusive now, and we're going to talk about the Hunter Biden laptop. So thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you guys who are watching over on Rumble. You guys are awesome, and we're going to keep it going over at Rumble as soon as I hit this video thing. Well, first off, let me see. Oh, we got another one. The review should be up along with the rest of the Movies America content here soon. Also, the audio episode is on Spotify now. Sweet. All right. Anyway, going back to this guy, we have Sipping with Shawn at protonmail.com for anything you want to send over to me. You got questions, you want advice, you want to send in articles, videos, whatever like that. Send it over to sippingwithshawn at protonmail.com. Solo.to / I'm Shawn Cav for all the socials. Solo.to / tildeathstudios for all your graphic arts needs. That's to help out Ian. And then, of course, solo.to / tildeathpodnetwork and at tildeathpodnetwork on Twitter for all the network stuff. So with that, guys, I'm going to continue this episode over on Rumble, and let's go. Okay, and we're back. See all